guy from the New York Times claiming he went to the hospital for his daughter's fever and the doctor wasn't wearing a mask, so he freaked out and left because the doctor was like, we're all vaccinated, it's okay. It's like, dude, trust your doctor. No, these people have gone and said,
no, you haven't stumbled onto the Tim Pool Show or Timcast IRL or the Cast Castle Show. This is, in fact, the Anti-Woke Warrior. And I'm going to do something a little bit different today because I'm just tired of Tim Pool getting this wrong. And so I want to say something about it. So welcome to my channel. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed and watch the video to the very end. Find me on Twitter. I'm over on Twitter, so you can check me out there. But let's get into this. Now, full disclosure, I do listen to Tim Pool's broadcasts on a daily basis. So I listen to him a lot. And I think that's largely where this is coming from, is I've heard him say this enough times that I'm like, dude, seriously, you don't understand the science. Another thing I wanted to say before we got started is I'm not really taking a position on this stuff. I just wanted to point out how I see these things and how that's different from what Tim Pool appears to be saying. Tim here says that this poor individual, this reporter, he took his daughter to a hospital and the doctor was not wearing a mask and the nurses were not wearing masks, and he got scared and ran out of there. And what a fool. How dare he? Doesn't the medical staff know more than him?
proud dad. He tweeted, just brought my child to an urgent care center because she had a fever and I wanted to get her checked out. The doctor nor the nurses wore any masks. Quote, why would we mask if we are vaccinated? The nurse told me. I was dumbfounded. I turned around and walked out. Okay. This one's painful for me. Your daughter had a fever and she needed to go to the doctor. And because the doctor, who is the medical expert for you and your family and knows more than you because you are just a TV man, said it's fine, and you left with your daughter sick. I'm sorry, my friends. These people are not well.
Well, hey, when I go to my doctor, Tim, they're all wearing masks. Everybody there is wearing a mask and everybody there has been vaccinated. And I have to wear a mask when I walk in. And not only that, they take my temperature when I walk in. So it seems like the medical community even disagrees with this particular clinic in question. Not to mention the fact that people who have been fully vaccinated are still dying from the virus. So yeah, maybe my doctor knows more than this doctor. Doctors are wrong all of the time. Let me explain to you a situation in my life. This is just one incident out of, I could probably name a dozen. So I had a back problem, injury to my back. It wasn't an acute injury. It was an overtime, like, destabilization type thing that happened. I went to many doctors. I went to physical therapists. I went to massage therapists. I went to chiropractors. None of them could tell me what the problem was. I'm sure they could have told me what the problem was. They didn't bother to. And then they came up with all sorts of reasons why this was happening. Oh, it's because you do this. I'm like, okay, but I don't do that. Oh, it's because of this, X, Y, and Z. No, it's not because of that. And the massage therapists, the physical therapists, the chiropractors could not fix the problem. The medical doctors were like, we can fix it. We're going to cut your back open and we'll put a rod in there. We'll take your disc out. We're going to do this and that. And I was like, oh, okay, then. That's not going to happen. And this lingering problem got worse and worse and worse over the course of about 8 years. Finally, one day I got a coupon for a free chiropractic exam and adjustment. And I walked into this chiropractor's office and he's like, yeah, you got a serious problem with your lower back. I can fix that. I'm like, what? You can fix that? So yeah, well, just take a month or so. It took him longer than a month, but 90 days later, roughly, I was about 90% better. So if I had just gone for 100 days, I would have been 100% better, right? No, I mean, it slowly got better after that. It was the process of me taking better care of my back and doing certain things that I needed to do to make sure that it worked fine. But doctors couldn't give me a straight answer on it. And this is just one example out of my life, out of my own life, let alone out of the lives of hundreds, if not thousands of other people. And we all know this because there's more than one medication to treat different ailments, right? You can get 5 or 6 different medications to treat the same ailment a lot of times. And it's because people are different. Not everybody's going to be the same. Not every medication is going to work the same on every person. There's people that cure their problems, cure their diseases through all sorts of different means that are not traditional medicine. I knew a lady who had cancer. She got cancer. She immediately went to the library and started looking at books on how to cure cancer by herself. And then a year later, she was cancer-free. Not to say that she didn't do medical treatments too, but she still managed to get over the condition, and she attributes part of that to doing these alternative treatments that she did. Furthermore, how many times have you heard the story of, oh, my doctor gave me 5 months to live? That was 50 years ago. And it's like, yeah, I mean, doctors make these mistakes all the time, Timothy. So why don't you like get straight in your head? Because you're not straight in your head. That's the thing. You keep talking out of both sides of your mouth. Doctors can make mistakes. If you have a bad doctor, go find a good doctor. If you don't trust your doctor, go find a good doctor. But then at the same time, you're like, oh, the medical staff knows more than you. But my medical staff is wearing masks, requiring all patients to wear masks, etc. Even if you've been vaccinated, like you have to wear a mask when you come in. There's no exceptions because you can spread the virus. And maybe we're totally wrong. Maybe the science is totally backwards, and you know what? This virus doesn't spread through the air. And let me explain this to you, because there's a lot of back and forth about how this actual stuff works. Okay? So I'm just going to go with the science. I'm not going to bring up the numbers and go, oh, look, see, this state only used masks like 50% of the time, and they have lower virus rates. And this state over here used them 75% of the time, and they have like the maximum virus rates out of anybody. Now, I don't have those numbers. Nobody has those numbers because nobody knows how often somebody's wearing a mask. But let me tell you how it works so that you all know. Now, I'm not a scientist, so if you are a scientist and I'm wrong, please tell me in the comments. If I am a scientist and I'm right, hey, please tell me in the comments. Okay, so does a mask work? Should you wear a mask? Why should you wear a mask if you should? Why shouldn't you wear a mask? The way that a mask works, if you're wearing just a standard off-the-shelf mask and you're breathing in, it's not doing that much to keep you from breathing in stuff. It's not filtering out that much stuff. It does filter out some stuff, but not that much. If you get a tightly fitted mask, that filters out a lot of stuff. So it's got to fit really tightly against your skin. Then air can't flow in from the edges of the mask, and then you breathe in, potentially contaminated air because it has been filtered by your mask. Now, the way that a mask really helps is when you breathe out. Okay, so when you breathe out, even if you're wearing a loose-fitting mask, you breathe into that mask, the particles you're breathing out, if it's virus particles, for example, they get caught in the mask, they don't spread nearly as far, they're less likely to infect other people. Why is that important? Why do we not want to infect other people? Why do we want to keep from the virus from spreading, right? How many people have had it? A bunch of people in the country have had it. Maybe we've got a bunch of immunity. It's possible. We've already spread the virus pretty far. Potentially, yes, but this is what can happen. Even if you have the vaccine, even if you've already had the virus, you can get the virus into your system and it's not affecting you. In fact, we've seen people who had the virus for the first time ever and it didn't affect them. They didn't know they even had it. I had a student come to me and say, hey, I got tested for COVID, I came back positive, but I have no symptoms. It's like, okay, good for you, man. And we've heard other people claim that they've had no symptoms. So the thing is the virus can get into your system and then it can mutate in your system. And then you breathe it out and the person next to you picks up this mutated version of the virus and the person next to him picks up the mutated version of the virus, and then they go to their offices in the city, and then everybody in the office gets this mutated version of the virus and they go home and spread it to their families. Now we have a new version of the virus that has been spread into our population that might be more deadly or have like worse side effects or worse lingering problems. So that's why you need to wear a mask. And you might be saying, well, no, I mean, I look at the, Florida didn't require a mask. Texas didn't require a mask. Look at their infection rate is really low. That potentially is the case. I don't know. I don't have those numbers. It's really hard to track how often people are using masks and not using masks, and so on and so forth. The fact of the matter is, this virus has spread throughout the country, even though we had mask mandates, right? Yeah, right. Well, when we had mask mandates, I would go to the store and I would see plenty of people walking around without a mask on, or they would have it on, but their nose was not covered. It's like, that is doing you absolutely no good then. Thank you for spreading the virus to me. So do I think that masks are going to save you and that you should always wear a mask? No, that's not where I'm coming from. It's your choice as to whether or not you want to wear a mask. I'm not the mask police. So it's up to you. I have no problem wearing a mask. Tim Pool even says he has no problem wearing a mask. I wear a mask because I think it makes me look mysterious. And hey, if I want to get into any mischief, I can probably get away with it because I'm masked. Now, I don't go around causing mischief because I think it's non-conducive to a healthy society. But, if that's what you want to do, you have a built-in excuse. Now, I don't know why the virus is spreading as much as it is. Most likely in the United States, it's just because people are obstinate. They don't want to do things that they're told to do, and Tim's main position is like, I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want the government telling me what to do. I don't want to have this mandate on me because it'll never go away. Well, it went away here where I'm at. We had lockdowns and mandates, and then the lockdowns went away, the mask mandates went away, and now the mask mandates are back, but the lockdowns have not yet come back. So the mask mandates came back a couple weeks ago, I think about 12 days ago, so almost 2 weeks ago. You know, there's all sorts of reasons why the virus is spreading. I don't know those reasons. We don't know that much about the virus yet. So my guess is it's people who aren't wearing their masks, people who are touching things and then touching their face, people who are getting together with strangers and touching them. Like, I just was talking to this guy at the gym the other day. I've never talked to him before, and he wanted to shake my hand, but I was like, no, man, you know what's going on right now. So, and he's like, yeah, cool. He gets it. But Tim also wants to talk about abortion. This Texas bill that's going on. He wants to compare my body, my choice. Let's take a look.
There's a bunch of people standing on the Texas State Capitol or whatever, and they're chanting like, hands off my body. Why does that only apply to abortion and not vaccines?
So he brings this up, my body, my choice. Well, Tim, I usually agree with him. Full disclosure, like I said, I usually agree with him. An abortion and a vaccination are not the same thing. They are not the same thing. One could make the argument that, hey, if you're not getting the vaccine, you are potentially spreading a virus to lots of people. Yeah, potentially. And an abortion is just, it's one fetus. So, you're only affecting those two people involved in that, the person having the baby and the baby. Okay. That's a potential argument you could use. I would rather say that having the baby, if you're going to be a bad parent, that child could turn out poorly, and then that's a huge effect on society. That could be worse than spreading a virus, than one person spreading a virus. I mean, how far can one person spread a virus? Maybe all over the entire world. I'm sure that's how this got started, right? With one person, maybe a small group of people got it all at the same time. So these are not the same things. Ian, his co-host, points out later on in this video that abortion is a right, and then you're going to take that away, whereas getting a vaccine is not a right, and you're going to force that on people. So there's a difference there in that regard, because Tim wants to bring it down. He wants to focus it on to, like, is it libertarian or is it not libertarian? Is it freedom or not freedom? People should be free to limit my ability to get an abortion, but not free to insist that I get a vaccine. That's kind of strange, Tim. Not sure what he's getting at here. So he kind of speaks out of both sides of his mouth regarding this vaccine issue, regarding the masking issue. He's not sure where he's coming from, because he does say things like, if there's bad doctors in the world, there's bad doctors. I'm like, yes. And doctors are frequently wrong. Now, he does clarify the abortion issue by saying that his main issue with it is the hypocrisy of the people who say, my body, my choice, vaccine mandates. Those seem contradictory in nature. And he would rather they just speak the truth and go, look, I don't want you to take away my ability to get abortion, but I do want you to force vaccines on me. So either way, I know this is a trying time for a lot of people. It's very difficult for a lot of people to get through this vaccine stuff. And in this regard, I think that Tim is just spreading bad feelings, bad vibes around it. And he should really stop, because it's not helping anybody. What his rhetoric on this, I don't think, is helping anyone, honestly. I think that he needs to have a more measured approach to it. And I think that he needs to just kind of back off a bit and just go, yeah, I don't really know. He does say talk to your medical professionals. Yeah, if you're going to get the vaccine, it says talk to your medical professionals. Yeah, and that's what you should do. You shouldn't take the advice of random people or somebody on the internet talking about it. So, that's all I got for this time. I know it's a lot different from what I normally talk about, but I watched Tim Pool a lot, like I said, and this was really annoying, so I wanted to say something about it. I've left him comments in the comment section. I know he's not going to see this video, but maybe he will. You never know, and maybe he'll fix up his rhetoric on it, tighten up his beliefs around the masks and the vaccines and all that stuff. Before I go, I do want to mention that my schedule has cleared up somewhat, and when it did that, I actually finished writing my first book, so it is done now. It is a medieval fantasy novel. It will be coming out probably later on this year. I don't know. I'm having some editing done to it and having it looked at, make sure that it's going to work as a book. And I wanted to leave you with that in case you are interested. Thank you for stopping by and subscribing. I do appreciate everybody supporting my work. And leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I'll see you all in the next video.